Hello everyone, welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and in today's Cryptid Corner mini episode, I have a couple of Bigfoot stories to tell you all about the day, folks. One, a horned Bigfoot was seen in Tennessee. Another, a juvenile Bigfoot was seen in Kansas City. Let's get into the first story, horned Bigfoot in Tennessee, a midnight encounter near ancient burial grounds. And read this account that probably truly frightened the witnesses here, folks. Something they'll probably never forget for the rest of their lives. Let's read the opening and get into the full account now. A midnight hunting trip in north central Tennessee turned into a terrifying brush with the unknown. What the witness first thought was a man revealed itself as a towering horned beast unlike any Bigfoot ever reported, raising the question, what entity lurks near ancient burial grounds? That was quite the opening, wasn't it, folks? Let's get into the full account and read what the witnesses actually experienced that night back in Tennessee. It was June 1997 in north central Tennessee around midnight. The witness and his cousin were on a hunting trip, sitting at the edge of a large hollow filled with dense underbrush and numerous evergreens. This hollow led into a large valley with a clearing which then extended to an ancient Indian burial site. After sitting quietly for a while, they heard the sound of brush rustling deep within the hollow. The loud racket suggested that whatever was making the noise was large. One of the witnesses was armed with a .22 Magnum rifle and approximately 150 rounds of ammunition. So these men were rather well armed, weren't they, folks? Good for them. But unfortunately, what they were about to encounter was something their guns and ammunition weren't going to stop. And I have to basically agree with that statement full-heartedly, folks. What they were about to encounter, now to some, would sound like a typical Bigfoot encounter, but no, there's far more to it, folks. Something far more terrifying about this entity, at least the way it seems to resemble a classic demon. Let's get back to the article and hear about what these men actually witnessed now, folks, because it was terrifying. Using his night vision scope, he initially saw what appeared to be a man. However, upon closer inspection, he realized that the figure was a creature about 7 to 8 feet tall, covered with thick, dark fur. It was slimmer than the typical image of a Bigfoot, almost skinny, and it had a neck. Protruding on either side of its head were long, tapered horns that were dark in color. Additionally, there was a horn on the top of its head that pointed straight up. All of the horns were approximately 5 to 6 inches in length and matched the creature's dark coloration. Terrified, the witness emptied a 25-round clip into the creature before retreating to a nearby cabin about 65 feet away. The next morning, they could find no sign of the beast, only a scattering of spent shell casings and bullet holes in a nearby walnut tree. The witness believed he had struck the creature several times. Nearby animal traps had been sprung and all of the bait was missing. On a nearby ridge, the witness discovered a series of tunnels made of brush and various sizes of tree limbs, vines, and leaves. They speculated that this could be the creature's lair, but refused to investigate further. So, what was this entity, folks? Was it a Bigfoot? Maybe it was deformed, folks? Now, there is a disease in people, folks, that causes them to grow horn-like protrusions out of their heads. Now, could this entity be suffering from something similar, folks? If it is a Bigfoot, folks, and Bigfoots are related to mankind in some way, perhaps. But the fact that the horns look so perfectly designed makes me question that, folks. It sounds like these horns weren't just random growths of bone or flesh, folks, out of this, creature's head. No, they sounded like the kind of horns that basically are very natural, like basically ram's or bull's horns. This creature was meant to have them, but I can't be for sure, folks. But the question is, was this a Bigfoot or something else? Could it have been some sort of Native American spirit? Because remember, this took place near an ancient Indian burial ground, so maybe there's a chance. Either way, very fascinating. But let's move on to the next article. Juvenile Sasquatch observed emerging from storm drain in Kansas City's West Bottoms. Let's get into this account and read how this, young, or as the article puts it, folks, juvenile Sasquatch was observed. Let's read the opening and hear the full account. In the summer of 2017, a Kansas City resident, L.S., spotted a small, hairy figure climbing out of a storm drain in the West Bottoms, an industrial district known for its abandoned buildings and underground tunnel systems. What the witness described later confirmed in an interview with investigator Carter Buschardt raises questions about what may be moving unseen beneath one of the city's oldest neighborhoods. Let's read the article now, folks. Juvenile Sasquatch seen emerging from storm drain, summer 2017, west bottoms of Kansas City, Missouri. The witness was parallel parking her vehicle after finishing work in the West Bottoms of Kansas City, Missouri. The West Bottoms is an industrial warehouse district on the western side of Kansas City, which has seen better days. Many buildings have been abandoned over the years and have fallen into disrepair, although some have been converted into condos or lofts. Others have become haunted houses or indoor flea markets. So, this sounds like the kind of area where weird phenomena would take place, folks. So, we have to ask, why would a juvenile Bigfoot be seen in such a place, folks? Is it because there are less people there, or what? I don't know. Let's read on, and maybe we can basically come to a conclusion about why this creature was seen, and maybe even basically still lives in the area near there. Let's get back to the article and read further. As she was looking backward to parallel park, she noticed a little hairy person emerging from a storm sewer. The creature was covered in dirty, dark hair that resembled fur, but was not quite the same. It was either dark brown or black in color and stood no taller than 3 to 4 feet. It was scratching itself when she spotted it. As she backed her car up toward the large truck, the creature disappeared behind it, which blocked her view. By the time she parked and got out of her car, it was already dusk. Given the location near downtown, it makes sense that the creature would use storm drains to navigate the city. The West Bottoms is bordered to the north by the Missouri River, to the west by Kansas City, Kansas, and to the east and south by Kansas City, Missouri. If food is scarce, then there are dozens of restaurants and businesses nearby with dumpsters full of all kinds of food. It's hard to imagine any other reason for it to be in such a visible area if it didn't desperately need food at that moment. Ironically, my wife and I had a flea market booth in the exact building where she lived when she had her event. The building was being used as lofts, but it soon went out of business and became a large flea market. It's a small world. Carter Bush chart. There's also a note, folks, so let's read that now. The initial report was sent to Phantoms and Monsters, which was then referred to Carter Bushart for an interview and his assessment. Okay, so they basically went to this woman and interviewed her personally, folks, to see, well, if she was telling the truth and to gauge her character. So it sounds like basically so far, they seem to be trusting her, folks, and her word. If not, they probably wouldn't have used this story and ran it on this website, Phantoms and Monsters. Either way, do you believe that this woman really was telling the truth, folks? I don't know. Whatever was out there, folks, certainly basically left its impression on her. Now, could it have been maybe an escaped monkey, perhaps? Or maybe an ape, like basically a chimpanzee? I would say so, folks. There's a good chance of it. Maybe it was a pet or something and just got out and it made its way back to its owner's home. But I can't be for sure, folks. All we know for sure is that basically people are listening to our story and taking it very seriously. Now, in both accounts that we've read today, folks, these Bigfoot displayed very curious behavior and basically very unique, at least in the case with the horned Bigfoot, folks, appearances. But we can't be for sure that that horned entity was truly a Bigfoot. As I said, could it have been maybe a Native American spirit? Because after all, this sighting took place near an ancient Native American burial ground, which I called Indian earlier, folks. So maybe there is a chance, well, that it was some sort of demon or other entity. Maybe a ghost taking the form of a hairy, horned humanoid, folks. But we can't be for sure. And what about this juvenile Bigfoot, folks? Have there been any more signs of Bigfoot in the area around Kansas City? I would love to know, folks, if basically that is true. And is it possible that these entities are using the underground tunnel systems in the area to get around? It makes sense if it is, folks. If so, truly fascinating. But, folks, until further information basically is made public, we don't know for sure. Either way, folks, I do believe that Bigfoot exists, and I hope one day he's proven to exist. Either way, folks, we're now at the end, so please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. You can use the YouTube link down below in the descriptions or the chat to go subscribe to me. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you're still subscribed. Leave some comments down below. Hit that bell for notifications. Make sure at the part of the bell, they'll give you all future notifications, and please share this video out. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdogs Kennel. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great video, so be sure to come back again then. Till next time, folks, I'll see you all again soon.